Hey there, automators. Welcome back to Let's Automate It with Robin. And I want to walk you through a workflow that I had a lot of fun with. We put together this little workflow over here. It's building a chat-powered autoblog for WordPress. I had a client come to me who is a blogger, runs a WordPress site, and they've been using OpenAI and Claude in particular to be able to create blog posts. But the hassle they were having, what was getting frustrating, is while they could chat to an AI using an agent, but in this case they were actually talking directly into the Chat GPT or Claude window, they still had to cut and paste and do all kinds of manual tasks in order to get their blog post into their WordPress website. And they asked me, Rob, please, can we have a mechanism, a automation that's going to take care of most of that automatically, but we still want to be able to interact in the creation of the blog. So that's what we spent the weekend doing. This is what you see on the screen right now. I'm going to walk through it with you step by step so you can build an interactive chat agent that's going to create a power blog along with a featured image and post it to your WordPress site. In fact, you could post this to almost any hosting site, WordPress, whatever your Wix, Weebly, whatever your platform is potentially you could use this for and adapt it to suit. So as always, let's start with the demonstration. Then we will walk through each of these steps to show you how to do it. And if you just want to grab this entire workflow, couple of options to you. One, go ahead and screen grab this and feed it into your favorite LLM and ask it to rebuild it for you. As I work through this workflow, I'll open up each one of these nodes and you can do the same thing, screen grab, pass it through into your favorite LLM and have it duplicated for you, or build along with me. We'll do it step by step, or come and jump into our community. And inside our community here, we have this learning section. And if you jump into this learning section, you will find a section here called n8n automations. And inside of the n8n automations section of our community here, you will find every single video that we have done, along with all of the collateral, the workflow, the prompts, the video, the training, everything you could possibly want. We've got the full JSON that you can just download this file and import it directly into your canvas, your n8n canvas, and you'll have this good to go. What tools you'll need, what resources you need, lessons, summary, details. And then, of course, actually in the community itself, you've got full support from the creators of these workflows, as well as from fellow community members. We have live calls. We have a dedicated channel for automation debugging. If you're building an automation, you're having a problem with that, you can come and jump into that. We also have a live virtual office where we hang out in, and you can come and join us and interact with us at any time and get help within office hours of Central European time. So if you're looking to engage with real humans around this AI and automation space, then this is a place you want to jump into. We can accelerate your learning, we can accelerate your networking, and we can accelerate your knowledge and your ability to build a business within the space with the Let's Automate It community. So definitely come and check on that. Details in the description of this video. Enough about that. Let's go and have a demonstration. So as you can see here with this node, if you're familiar with n8n, you'll know that there's a live, ready to go chat option within n8n. So we're using that tool at the moment. And if we open up this one, we can see we've got a webhook in here, and this webhook we can hit and open up a chat experience. So I'm going to go and do that, and let's go build a blog together quickly. So here is the interface. You can of course use CSS to style it exactly how you want, but let's write a blog article together. If you're satisfied at any stage, put in the word post and I'll format it for publication. That's where it's actually going to push it into WordPress. And if at any stage you just want to reset, you can type in the word restart and it'll start from the beginning as well. But let's get started here. What topic can I help you blog about today? So let's think of one. Let's talk about the importance of human connection in this time of AI, deepfakes, and the threat to humanity. I'm making this up as I go. I haven't prepared this. This is literally off the top of my head right now. Let's see what comes out of this. So let's hit enter here. And now we're talking to that n8n workflow. We're talking to an agent. And what this agent has been trained to do is to interview us now ask us up to 5 questions to extract the information that it needs. So we look here, we've got a great response here. Great, let's create an exceptional research-backed blog article together. I'll use advanced SERP, search engine result analysis, and Perplexity to do some research. Who is your target audience and what specific pain points do you have regarding human connection in the context of AI? So I don't know, let's say those that are building career in AI. I have no idea. I'm just making this up as we go along. But just to show you the flexibility of this tool will work with any single topic you want to bring in. What is the primary keyword or phrase you'd like to target for this article? Why don't we just grab this keyword here? We'll just take this long tail keyword. Pop it in here. The importance of human connection in this time of AI. So this is the keyword it's going to anchor around. Do you prefer a specific angle or the importance of human connection, or such as a role in its mental health, work? Let's talk about societal cohesion. I like that. It's giving us some, by the way, you don't have to follow these suggestions. It's just giving some examples. It's easy to cut and paste because you're actually talking to an agent here. You can have a full-on normal conversation with this agent. And but I do suggest following along with the questions in order to get the best results. But you could answer the question completely differently. Let's have a look here. Could you provide some context about the industry competition level? Are there any specific examples on competitors that you're aware that we should consider? I'm going to say no. And what specific outcomes or calls to action would you like to include? What is it asking us for here? Encouraging readers to engage in community activities, seek therapy. Let's go with encouraging readers to engage community activities, because that's actually what we are trying to build with Let's Automate It, is not as much a school community in the sense of learning, although that is a huge focus of our community. Really what we're trying to build in our community is this human interaction, this core group of humans that are coming together to discuss and work together to grow our knowledge and experience and abilities within AI and automation. So I think encouraging readers to engage in community activities is an appropriate topic. Now, this will take a short while because it's actually generating the blog right now. It's asked us 5 questions and the agent's now going to work. It is researching the internet. It is using Perplexity. It is using OpenAI's 4 mini model. Of course, you could have a more powerful model, but I've been getting great results with 4 mini. So let's see what it comes back with. There we have our blog article. Let's scroll up and have a look what's come in here. So all right, so here's a comprehensive overview of the importance of human connection in the age of AI and deepfakes for societal cohesion. So the importance of human connection, we've got a title, we've got some stats to start with. 70% of Americans feel lonely on a regular basis in an era. Why is human connection important? So, we've got a decent blog here. We've got a list, we've got bulleted lists, so we've got a bit of a formatting style here. We've got a conclusion at the bottom. We've got recommended actions. So now this blog is supposed to have produced sources and references, etc. Like all LLMs, sometimes they don't listen to their prompts, and we'll be unpacking this power prompt in a moment. But the amazing thing about having a chat GPT-like interaction with this is we can actually ask it for questions. So let's ask it. We want some more resources. So let's just ask, please, can you add citations for the facts you have used in the blog? So I want to highlight here that it's actually asked me a question here. Would you like me to evaluate this work and provide options to approve yes or no? If you're satisfied, replied post, and it'll go ahead and post, and I'll format it for publication. If you'd like to start again, press restart. So I'm actually not answering any of those questions because this is still a chat agent. I'm giving it a completely different command here, prompt. Please, can you add citations for the facts you've used in this blog? So let's see what it does with this. There we go. It's done. Let's have a look at what we've got here. So we have the same article and we can actually see sources coming in here. These are clickable links, clickable links, clickable links. So it's now giving us what we're after. So this is great. Now let's dive back into this little prompt here. Would you like me to evaluate this work and provide options to improve it? Yes or no? I'm going to say yes, and let's see what happens. Right. So as we can see now, it's actually reviewed the article itself. Here's the evaluation of the blog. So it's giving itself a rating. Overall, we've got a rating of 8.25 out of 10, and it's rated itself on each one of these criteria and improvement feedback. So it's giving us a fantastic little review here, and it's giving us some options for next steps. So here we've got some options. We can choose any one of these options, whatever makes sense. And let's try. Let's automatically make this 10 out of 10. So I'm just going to write, let's do number 10. There you have it. Let's see what we've got here. So let's scroll back up and let's see what we've got in here. So it would have taken that feedback. Let's do number 10, automatically make this 10 out of 10. And now it's incorporated its own feedback. And let's see, we've still got some resources in here, some citations, skills, atrophy, argument, human. Okay, looking good. This is a demo, so I'm going to move on past this. But let's say we're ready to go ahead here now, because if you recall, if you're satisfied, reply post, and I'll format it for publication. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to write the word post in here and hit enter. And now what is happening is this is now moving on from the chat agent interface in our workflow, and it's actually now reading the article, reviewing the article. It is sending it over to a image prompt generator to create a image appropriate to this blog in particular. It's using GPT Image 1, one of the best image generators out there, to create an image for us. And then it's going to post this blog to our website along with the featured image, connect it all up, and create the alt captions, create the excerpt for the blog, and it'll be ready to go. Now, one limitation of using this n8n chat tool is it can't show images. So unfortunately, we won't be able to see the image that it's generating for us here in this particular chat interface. So we will see that on our back end of our WordPress website. But of course, we will be posting this blog as a draft, so you'll be able to review that draft, review that image, and if you don't like it, you can redo the image and connect a new image to it. So let's see what we get here. And here are our results. It has come back to us, giving us the point that it's successful. It is asking us to preview the article. Let's go have a look. Let's see if that link is actually working. So, but one thing I do want to note is it's in preview mode. So you'll need to log into your WordPress site to access it. So I think I am logged into my WordPress website. So let's go have a click on that. And here we have a featured image of people having a conversation. They've all, for the most part, their hands look okay. It's not a bad featured image. And here is the article. We have our author being set there. We have all our citations inside here. And we've got a layout, recommended actions, bullet point lists. This is a great blog. It's doing fantastic. Now, we weren't charged with making this a highly in-depth SEO blog where we can do SEO research and such like. We have other videos on doing SEO research. This is more about just creating a really quick, interactive GPT style of blog writing, complete with good research, and posting that onto a WordPress platform, which I think we've achieved. So with that being done, let's go and break this down and build this out together. Let's jump back into our workflow. And this is the workflow that did the job for us. So let's start here. We pulled on a trigger node, which was a chat. And if you go into AI and you choose an AI agent and you pull that onto the screen, it will come along with a chat widget. So you'll want to click into that chat widget. And the first thing you want to be able to do here is make this chat publicly available. If you choose to make it publicly available, you'll need to do that in order to have this URL accessible on the net, and you'll want to make the mode into a hosted chat. Authentication is up to you. We are not using it here. And here you can now mess with your initial message, which we have done. And then under options, you'll be able to choose subtitle, title, and subtitle. And that's where we've gone ahead and put in these extra messages to help guide the user as to what's going on. So that's all you need to set up there. All right, now, one thing I wanted to notice is we have highlighted here that if you'd like to start again, type restart, or if you'd like to, if you're satisfied, reply post. So we do have two distinct messages that we are using that the AI will respond differently to. So the first one we want to deal with is the restart message. So that's what our next node is here. We've got an if node in here, and we're saying if the value that's coming in from the chat message receive is restart. If it is the word restart, then we're going to go down this true branch, and we're going to go into a chat memory manager agent. So you can go into here and type memory, and you will have a chat memory manager. There it is. Get messages, insert messages, delete messages. So we're using the delete messages option, and we've set this up, and it's just going to delete all the messages, basically restart. And the use case for this is you might be an agency that's creating lots of blogs and, for a particular client. And when you've done one, you want to go directly into the next one. And you can just use that reset button to start again, clear its memory, and create a new blog. And then coming out the back of this one, we have a simple set node. With the very important, you have the word output in here, because this output means it'll drive the answer back to the chat. So if you put output in here, it's going to restart the chat with this phrase: "Hi there, I'm a WP blog expert. What topic can I help you blog about it today?" So this is how you would redirect this branch back into the chat. Although you can see this appears to be orphaned, it just ends here. The fact that it says output in here will send it straight back to the chat interface where you can continue the conversation. But if it's not the word restart, it's going to go into our blog agent. And this is the heart of it. This is the real brains behind what's going on here. Let's start, though, by connecting up some tools. So you see I've connected up a chat agent. Let me zoom in a little bit here. So we've connected up a chat agent, a LLM brain. I'm just using GPT-4o Mini. Good balance of cost and power. But of course, you've got lots of other models you can choose from. I've given it simple memory. I've made the context window length 15, so I can have a good solid chat with it. Now, simple memory, of course, means that when you reset your browser session, it will lose its memory. So you may want to use more persistent memory through Supabase or Postgres or some other tool like that. But to keep it simple, we're just using a simple memory tool. Then I've added in a SER AI tool. And to run SER API, it's going to give the ability to search the internet for results. You will need to connect up a SER AI API key. And if you go into this, and you can follow the docs here to grab your API key, nice and simple. And you just got to put the API key in there. Very, very easy. We've added Perplexity as well, which is super powerful. You really want to add that in. And that is a tool. And we've labeled the tool. We've given it the name Perplexity AI. We've given it a credential. Tool description is to set manually. And then I've given it, I prefer this. You do have the option here to set automatically. I find I get better results if I set the tool description manually. And then in here, this description of the tool is the same tool description that I use in the prompt, which we'll look at in a moment. I'm messaging a model. I'm messaging this model in particular. The text, I'm letting the AI decide, and the role is user. And the output is defined automatically by the model as well. You will need a Perplexity API key. And if you jump into the credentials here as well, there are docs that will walk you through that. You will have to whip out your credit card and put a couple of bucks of credits onto your Perplexity API key. And then it'll just come and pop that API key and it'll work. What is Perplexity? Perplexity is a search engine powered by AI. So it's really, really powerful for doing research. So definitely want to hook up Perplexity and go dig into that. With all that being done now, let's jump into this, which is the real brains behind it. So we are starting with a connected trigger node, and let's have a look at this blog post. Now, this prompt, I should say, not blog post, is really at the heart of this. And screen grab this, feed it to your LLM in order to duplicate it, or it'll be available inside our community as well. Feel free to enhance it, but we've done some pretty cool things here. First of all, we're asking for GEO optimized content, that's generative engine optimizations, optimizing this blog post for AI research so that AI will come and grip this and deliver results in the AI overviews that we're starting to see in Google and such like. We've told it what research tools it's got. It's got a SER API, it's got Perplexity, it's got a think tool as well, so it can pause and think about things. We're telling it what to do here. We're saying always start with the initial message and then follow the question, research, create, evaluate, refine cycle. Ask each question one at a time. Let me correct that. I can see the little typo. One at a time, one after the other, allowing the user to answer questions. We've got all kinds of research and citation requirements coming in here. So we've got a lot in here. We're telling it has to search the internet, it has to use research, it has to use this particular framework, experience, expertise, authoritative framework. So it's working through that to use that framework to create the blog post. We're telling it how to structure the blog post, what it should be doing in its first 100 words, what kind of bullet points it must use, numbered lists, FAQ sections, visual enhancement features. We're not saying it must use these tools every time and the structure, but we're giving it the option to really create a good looking blog for us. We're talking about heading strategy, keyword optimization, writing standards, the mandatory process flow. That's pretty key here. We're saying to it, follow these steps, ask these discovery questions, ask who the audience is, ask for the primary keyword, the angle, the industry, the desired outcome. You experienced that, you saw those questions when we did the demo. Then it's going to go through a research phase. It's going to do Perplexity research. We've got, content creation standards sitting in here. We want, H1, H2, H3 in the structure, step-by-step thinking, include all these features. You can see it here. Work through this yourself. Then we've got this review process. You saw that all written in Markdown language, and, evaluate yourself after every piece of work. Evaluate using this table format. So we're using this ability to evaluate itself and then give us options as to how we can take this further, and then wrap it up. Give a change log, some examples of what we're looking in here. We've got it can do comparison tables depending if the blog is asking for that type of thing. Industry statistics. We're using different frameworks to kind of make this readable for the user. The STEPS framework, stickiness principles, epic contact strategy. We're using an evaluation rubric here where it's going to evaluate this based on these standards and the success metrics at the bottom here of what will make a good blog. So this is a power prompt. It's asking a lot of this, and in different workflows where we didn't want to have a chat interface where it's one-to-one all the time, we could break this out into smaller agents. But given that we wanted a full GPT type experiments with the power of GPT, having a prompt of this magnitude is critical. So you're probably going to screen grab this and go and copy this out for yourself or jump into the community. Feel free to make it your own though. So that's what we've got going over here. Coming out of that now, we've got another if node. This first if node was looking for that restart word. This if node is looking for the word post. If at any stage I write the word post, it's going to go down the true branch and it's going to go down here into actually publishing the article. If it doesn't see the word post, it's going to send it to this set node. And just like the earlier set node, it's got this output criteria, and it's just going to grab the output from that blog agent and send it back from here. It's going to send it back over to our agent. So we can go, if it doesn't have the word post, it'll go to here. It'll take the output of the blog agent, the latest output of the blog agent, send it back to our chat. And we'll keep looping through this until such time as the user either writes the word restart or writes the word post. And that's how we can grip this out of the blog post and get it working. Once that's done, we are then using an extract from blog chat tool. If we go into this, it is called, I believe, information extractor. You want to pull that onto the canvas, give it a brain for a minute once again. And then here, what this particular AI node is going to do, it's going to read the input and look for a title. It's going to look for a slug because this is what WordPress wants. It's going to look for the article. So it's going to look for the title of the blog post. It's going to extract that from the body of the blog post, which will be coming into this AI node. And it's going to say, it will be giving it a description here. Description is just to help it find it. So we wanted to find the title of the article. We wanted to find the slug for the article. And then we actually want to get the body of the article as well as citations. And sometimes the articles come with pro tips. We want to get that coming through. So why don't we do a demo up to this point and get some data in here? So I'm going to open the chat here. And let's just start here. This chat right now is just a chat inside of n8n Canvas, so we don't have to go to the other ones, and we can actually see it happening in real time. So let's write a blog about dog walking. Let's do that. So we can see it working here. There's our agent working. It's consulting its memory. And we're now asking us the question, let's just go through this quickly as we can. So I'm just going to cut and paste some of its suggestions. And again, we can see it working visibly on the canvas. What primary keyword? Let's just keep using its suggestions here. So I will use that one. Is there a specific angle that you'd like? Let's take bonding with the dog. So it's just reading its prompt. What is the competition level in the dog walking or pet care space you'd like to address? Look for a friendly, approachable tone, or would you prefer a more expert, authoritative tone? Let's go with a friendly, approachable tone here. What desired outcomes would you like? Let's have this encourage them to adopt a pet as the outcome we want from this blog, the call to action, so to speak. All right. So now we can see the AI agent is going to work. It's using its tools. It's researching the internet over here. It is using Perplexity at the moment. It's working away, and this is going to take a short moment, so let's let it run, and then we'll see our blog post appear in the chat interface. And here we have our blog post now. There it is, all the way through. Frequently asked questions, recommended actions. Here we have our options to reevaluate, but let's just go ahead and hit the word post. So I'm going to write the word post in here and hit send. And now it will evaluate the answer. And it's going to come and have a look at this little if node here. All right, now we can see it's busy extracting the information that it needs from the content that came out of this blog post. It's using its little brain, its AI brain. It's setting the blog data. It's creating the image prompt, and now it's actually going to create the image for this blog post. You can see it using the GPT image node. There we go. It's finished the image. We've reduced the image size, and then here this bottom section we've actually posted through to WordPress. Let me show you what we've got going on here. So if we open up our extract blog from chat, what's happened here is we've got the input from our chat interface. That's what's coming here on the left here. We can see it in JSON mode. There it is, it's coming through. And here we've asked it to set these various items. So let's see if it's worked here. We've got the title, and let's just move this over so we can see a little bit. You can see successfully we've got the title. We haven't got a slug. It's actually failed in this case, which is interesting. It's the first time it has failed. So in all the testing and preparation for this video, it worked just fine. But to show you things don't always go perfectly with AI and working with these tools, you can spot the mistake here. So an authentic video, not meanwhile, here's one I made earlier. So that's interesting. It has failed. So, and it is a required step as well. So we'd have to keep an eye on that. We've got our article coming out. There it is. We've got our citations coming through. It hasn't listed citations, but I believe it's because the citations are actually being listed inside the blog post itself. In this case, it's only if it spots something called citations. If we look through this content here, I'm not actually seeing that the blog actually wrote any citations in this case, and that might be a situation where you notice that in the chat interface and you ask it, as we did in our demo, to create those citations for us, and it will come through with that. And then if there was a pro tip, it would pull through. So we haven't had great results out of the extract blog from chat, but we do have a title and we do have an article, so we can proceed. So from there, we're now going into a set node where we're going to set the blog data. Now this is pretty much the only node that if you're duplicating this workflow that you're going to have to edit. So inside here, you're going to want to have the title, and then you're going to map in your title, do the same for your slug and your article. I've just renamed it content over here. And then here under WP URL, you're going to want to set that field, and you want to put in the base URL for your WordPress website. So that's our little WordPress website there. You're going to want to set which author you want to assign this to and which blog category. If you know WordPress, you'll know where to get those, but you can get this in the URL when you navigate to the category editor in WordPress. The same in the user section of WordPress. You can go and look in the URL and grip those. So we've set that blog data. And now we're passing it into the image prompt AI. So once again, all I'm doing is using an AI agent, grab that and pull it onto the canvas, give it a brain. In this case, I'm giving it ChatGPT 4.0 latest, and I've given it a prompt here. Let's have a look at the prompt. Oh, so you want to change this from connected chat trigger to define below, and then you want to pull in the actual content of the data. You want to pull in the blog post that's been created, because this agent's going to read that blog post and then come up with a prompt. And here it is. You are an AI prompt engineer specializing in creating prompts that will be used to create a featured image for the blog post. You'll receive text data about a topic or post. Use that information from the text to create what you're after. It needs to have the subject action setting in a certain style, etc., etc. So I'm not going to go through that, but again, you can screen grab this and go and get it yourself from an LLM, or grab it from our community. No problem there. So once it's done, we've got an output here. Now we've run that, and here we have our prompt. A new dog owner walking their dog through a quiet suburban neighborhood, etc., etc. It looks pretty good. So now we've got our image prompt, and now we're going to send it into our image generator. And for that, you can go into AI, you can go down into OpenAI, and although there are many image generators, this generate an image option. And if you go into it and you hook up your OpenAI credential and you use this model of GPT image 1, it's going to do amazingly well. Now, it is an expensive model, especially if you go and set it on the high resolution as I've got it here. And of course, we're looking for a featured image, so we want it wider than taller, so we want that resolution. And if you set those criteria up, you're going to get a great result. Let's have a look. So there we have a human walking a dog. Realistic. That looks fantastic to me. I mean, we do have some weirdness here. What's going on with the sidewalk? It kind of disappears straight into the grass and then starts again on the other side. Yep, AI still have some way to go, but that's still pretty impressive. So once that's been done, we're now going to reduce image size. And again, you can just look for image, go into edit image, and go into resize the image right here. and pop into the node you pull onto the table, resize it. Important here that your image name is data to match. This is called data here, so you want to make sure this one is data. This width and height doesn't actually matter. It will adopt the dimensions that's coming in from the image generation node before this, and your option you want to make as maximum area. So now you can see, well, it's still fairly large, but at 427 kilobytes, but we've got ourselves a resized image. Pretty straightforward stuff. So then the next step now is to post this up into our WordPress website. So let's walk through this. Now, inside of n8n, if we type in WordPress, we've got a host of WordPress tools, but one thing we don't have is any tools here for uploading images or creating alt tags for images, etc., etc. However, the WordPress API does have that ability, so we're going to use a mixture of these WordPress nodes native to n8n and the WordPress API endpoints using HTTP nodes. So this is a little bit advanced. If you're new to this, just copy along blindly. It will work, but if you've got some experience, you will recognize what we're going to go through here. So I'm using an HTTP node here. HTTP node, there we go, HTTP request. I've pulled it on. Let's have a look at what's going on here. So we need to make this a post method, and then we need to put this expression in. And you'll notice I've mapped in here this from the set blog data node. I have pulled in the WP URL. I've pulled this in and I've dropped that into this URL here. So now this endpoint is going to go to it's going to go here to my website /wp-json/wp/v2 media. Because what are we doing here? We are going to upload the image. You're going to need some WordPress credentials. And to do that, you are going to want to come in here. You're going to open this up. You're going to go to a predefined credential, and you're going to select the WordPress API and follow along the documentation there. What you'll need is your username. Show you here. You'll need your username for your website, and then an application password, not the actual password that you'll put in at your WP admin. You'll have to go to this user and create a specific application password. If you're familiar with WordPress, you'll know what I'm talking about there. Otherwise, follow along in the documentation, and then you'll need to go and hit your WordPress URL. That will get the job done for you. All right, now we then get into the slightly more technical side. You want to send some headers, use the headers below, and now you want to make sure you get this spot on. You want to put exactly that phrase in, and then follow this: attachment, semicolon, space, file name equals binary.data.filename, and then dot, and then put this in here with the file extension. This is very, very important. Just follow exactly on from that, because it's pulling this binary data in from here. It's pulling this binary data in, so that's what the API requires. So put that in there. Then you want content type, and you're going to pull in binary.data.mime type. That's absolutely critical, otherwise it won't work. And then under send body, choose n8n binary file and write in the word data. And if you do that, you're going to get a successful outcome here. It will now have uploaded our image to our WordPress website. It hasn't connected it to the WordPress post yet, but it has updated it. All right, the next HTTP node we want to look at here is to update that image data, the actual caption of it. So again, a post method, follow this exactly. You'll notice I'm using exactly the same methodology here. We've got a slightly different endpoint, and important here at the end of this, I'm pulling in this JSON ID, because from the previous node, there's the ID. That is the ID of the image I've just uploaded to WordPress. So I'm going on this particular image. I want you to make these adjustments, and then I'm using the same authentication. Then coming down here, body type JSON, and now here we've got title, and here we've got set blog data ISIN JSON title. Where am I getting that from? Well, if we go to our set blog data here, I am pulling in the title here, and that's the title that is going to go along with this image. We're getting a slug. Unfortunately, in this example now, the slug is empty because we didn't get one out of our builder, sadly, for this video. And for our alt text, I am using the image prompt. So where did I get that from? I'm coming here from create image prompt, and I'm using the image prompt as an alt text because to my mind, that's a really nice description of what is going on in the blog post. In the image, I've got caption. And again, I'm using the title, and description. Again, I'm using the image output. So once you run that, once you've completed it, you will get your you'll have updated your image data, which we've done just there. All right, now we need to format our blog as HTML. Our blog has come in. If we go back here, we set blog data. If we look at our blog data, at our contents, let's go look at it in table mode. It is in Markdown format, and we need it to be in HTML format. So what we're doing here is pulling on a Markdown node, convert data between Markdown and HTML. That's what's on the canvas right here. Okay, the mode, Markdown to HTML. And then you just want to pull in the set blog data. So we'll pull in set blog data and the content. I'll just drag that in here. And the output I'm just called the destination key data. It can be anything you wanted. You could create that as content or post or article. I've kept it as data. And now what that's going to do is convert the Markdown into HTML. And if we go look at our JSON here and we scroll down, we will see that we are now starting to see some HTML coming in. Let's actually look for our article. There's our article, and you can see now we have some HTML tags that are being pulled in here. So now this is being converted to HTML, which is what WordPress wants. So now we can actually use, for the first time, we can use our WordPress node here. So we've pulled a WordPress node onto it, and it is the create a post. So credential to connect with, you'll need to set up your credential as you will have done already. Your resources post operation is create. The title, pull it in from your set blog data. You'll pull the title in. Additional fields, author name or ID. Over here, again, you will get that from your blog data node. Same for the where is it? The category and author. It's just asking for author and ID at this point in time, so that's all we need. The content will actually be the article. So you've got this article that you've just formatted as HTML. So you'll go and get that, which is right at the bottom of this node, of our Markdown to HTML node. So there it is, data. So I've just dragged that in right there. You can see it. There it is. The slug and status. Now I've put it into draft mode, but of course you could put this into publish mode if you wanted to make it live straight away. And then, there's the category name and ID, and that I'm getting from the set blog data. There is my ID. So I'm just kind of dragging that feature in there. So now we've given the node everything it needs in order to be able to post. And I've run this node, and you can see we've got a successful post. It has pushed it into our WordPress website. So far we have our image uploaded and we have our post uploaded. Now all that's been left to done is to connect the two together. And before we can do that, we need to add the excerpt, the short little excerpt that'll be used for SEO purposes. So again, we need an HTTP node. Click into that, follow along with me here. It's going to be post. And you can see I'm now using the ID of the post. Earlier on, we used the ID of the image. We're using the ID of the post, using our credentials here. And then down here, the name is excerpt, and I'm using the title that I got from my set blog data node, and I'm popping that title in there, and that will give an excerpt to that. So we've run that. That's been done. Now here we're talking about connecting the image to the post. So let's go click into this, and you'll see here again we're using a post. We're using this endpoint here, merging in our URL and merging in our blog post ID. So we're there we go. Blog post to WordPress first JSON ID. This doesn't have to be first. This could be .item as well. And we want to pull this from the post blog to WP node. So let's go and quickly look at that. Post blog to WP node. You'll notice that is the ID of the post that we've put up there. So now we're identifying the blog post. And down here now under send body, we are setting featured media for that blog post. So now we're using this. We just need to get the ID of the image that we were using. And if we go back to here where we posted upload media to WP, there's the ID, so we can drag that in, which is what I've done here. And now we've got the ID of the image, we've got the ID of the post and the endpoint we want to be using. And if we run that, it'll associate the two together. And once that's done, we're going to put another set node on the end here, and we're going to follow the same technique as earlier where we just put the output there. And already you know that if you put output here and there's a chat node in the workflow, it's going to send this answer back to the chat node. And let's have a look at what's going in here. This is just a message back into our chat to say, hey, job has been done. So there's what it's saying. I have posted the blog article for you and created a featured image. You can preview the article here. And I've just used this layout in order to make this hyperlinked. Preview article and then open brackets. And then I've used the post blog to WP because that is where the URL of the post is. There it is. I just dragged that onto the screen. Okay, and just a reminder to the user, it's in preview mode, so you'll need to be logged into your WordPress site to access it. If you run through those steps, this is going to give you a chat interface very much like ChatGPT. It's going to give you a chat interface like this that you can talk to. You can take this URL and you can embed this in the back end of your WordPress website in the sidebar menu, and someone can then log into the back end of their WordPress website and be able to use this tool to generate blogs, interact with the AI agent, get the blog exactly how they want, and then when they're ready, push post and have that appear actually on their website. So let's go have a look at that now. So let's go into this. I've logged into my WordPress website. Let's just refresh this quickly. And there it is. Walking tips for new owners, strengthening your bond with your furry friend. There's the one we made earlier, the importance of human connection. Let's go have a quick preview on this. And there is the image we saw with our funky little pavement sidewalk. And here is our blog posts. So we've got... What's missing for me in here is the citations. We were missing in that. So if I was back in my chat and I was working through this, I would notice that citations were missing. And inside my chat, I would ask it for citations and we would get that. Sometimes with a complicated prompt like we've got, it misses some of the features. But if you can use the chat interface here in order to be able to correct it, it has the tools, it knows what to do, and you can guided to getting the results you want. That's the beauty of an interactive agent that you can talk to while it's creating the blog post. And if you're happy with this, you can go ahead and post it. Or if you wanted a new image, you could generate a new image, upload it, and swap the image out. I do hope you've enjoyed this particular workflow. I had a lot of fun putting it together. I do want to quickly just zoom out a little bit here and mention that the notes on here, this is everything you'll need to know. So you can come and grab this workflow. It'll have these notes on it. And it's also based heavily on a video we did earlier, the power prompt, copy this formula. It's an evolution of that. And if we go actually jump into our YouTube channel and look for this video here, the ultimate PowerPoint, copy this prompt formula, that'll give you a little bit of background to this video, although not necessary. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for spending time with us. Good morning, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world from us over here at Let's Automate It, and we'll see you next week.